Let's talk about numbers. Numbers are harder to argue with than feelings. The global leadership development industry is worth about $366 billion a year. That's not a lifetime number, that's a year. Every year. And it keeps growing. That is sad. Really sad. But it isn't even close to the saddest part. Here's the number that should actually stop you. 3 out of 4 organizations that pay for these programs say, in their own words, that the programs aren't very effective. Only 18% say their leaders are better at leading afterward. $366 billion. 75% calling it a failure. And yet it keeps growing anyway. You've probably already been inside that number. You just didn't know it at the time. Maybe your company sent you 2 days in a hotel conference room, a lanyard with your name spelled wrong, a workbook you filled out once and never opened again. Or maybe you were the one who had to spend it. Not because your team needed a seminar that quarter, because if the training budget didn't get used, it got cut next year. So you picked a vendor. You found a decent deck. You told yourself it would probably help somebody. Or maybe you never sat in the room at all. You just bought the books, one after another, hoping this next one would finally be the one that worked. None of that was wrong. You were just standing inside the number. Here's the question nobody in that industry wants asked out loud. How does a business that doesn't work get bigger every year? Because it was never built to cure you. It was built to keep you coming back. Think about it plainly. If these programs actually worked, if people finished and were done, the industry would shrink every year as it ran out of new leaders to sell to. Instead, it grows. That only works one way. If most of the people paying for it are paying for it again. That's not a conspiracy. Nobody sat in a room and planned it that way. It's just what the math demands. The business model doesn't depend on you finishing. It depends on you staying almost finished. That's also why there isn't one leadership framework. There's dozens and dozens of them. If the stoic productivity approach doesn't land for you, there's an emotionally intelligent servant leadership model waiting. If that doesn't land, there's a spiritual entrepreneurship path. Still nothing? There's a neuroscience-based behavior system with a nicer logo. None of them are competing to be right. They're competing to be next. Every single one is pointed at the same blank. Different vocabulary, same sentence underneath. You're not quite there yet, but this is the way. Here's something I'll leave you with today. I'm not going to develop it. I'm just going to say it and let you sit with it. Swap the word leader for almost anything. The math still holds. Here's what none of those programs could ever give you, no matter how good the framework was. Not a better model, not a new vocabulary, not a stronger habit stack, not a framework that fixes everything. What you actually wanted was someone to sit across from you and say, "You're not the only one who feels this. You were never the only one." Think about the last program, course, coach, or system you actually paid for. Did it solve the thing it promised to solve? Or did solving part of it just reveal the next thing that needed solving? That's not a question about whether it helped you. It probably did. Some. It's a question about whether it was ever built to let you stop. This isn't about the people running the machine. Most of them mean it. Most of them believe in what they are selling. It's about what the machine needs to survive. And it was never the finished version of you. Sit with this. The number wasn't the point. The pattern was. Next time, what actually happens after you win? Why the finish line moves the moment you get there.